Hello. Today, we're doing something a bit different. I'm currently sat in probably one of my favourite local coffee shops. It's called Foxtail Coffee, and it's in Clermont. It's just off of Highway 27, which is the same 27 that if you drive for about 25 minutes from here, you'll be directly in the Disney area. Something else that I found recently that sits on 27 is a place called Louisa State Park. And it's what it sounds like. It's just this huge state park that has all sorts of activities in there that you can offer. And one of those things is glamping, which I understand is kind of fancy camping. I'm not entirely sure. So I jumped online and I managed to book a tent for one night. So tonight we're gonna go sleep in the nature. Jen's a little bit less excited about it than me. She's not really into outdoors and bugs and all of that stuff, but she's game, so we're gonna go down there and just see what it's all about, because this area is pretty accessible to us from where we live. I have a few boring emails to do and then go home, pack up the car and go glamping. Oh, and for those people that are all about the food and drink, this is an iced coconut cold brew and it's delicious. This is like a donut with hazelnut and chocolate. Delicious. Oh yeah, to everyone in the UK, whichever part you're from, congrats. It seems that things are improving and you're allowed out and you're seeing people again, and that is awesome. Next step, punk rock show. We've actually arrived. We're at Lake Louisa State Park. It doesn't take too long to get here and we're just waiting at the gate to go in where we have to show our reservation, and then I have no idea what's going to happen, so let's find out. Already, this place has exceeded expectations. We've just stepped inside this. I think it's called a bell tent. It's their luxury, carefree camping. Inside, not what I expected. It's awesome. Okay, so Luna is having a sleep in her crate in the tent. We wore her out, thankfully. The cooler inside the tent is super efficient. We went back in and it's as cold as our house with air conditioning, right?
Yeah, it feels nice.
It's really cool. I mean, it's also a heater, I guess, if it gets cold at night. But Luna's sleeping. The sun is starting to go down. So the goal is to just hang out here for a bit and just watch the sun go down over this pretty beautiful lake. Wow. So this is like a fishing pier. At the end of this, there's people fishing, but there's these steps that go right down to the lake. And Jen's down there now. She's desperate to find a gator. There's the edge, and there's the lake. But look at this place. So the sun's gone down now. It was absolutely stunning and there's so many bugs around. It feels like just a total world away from 25 minutes down the road where there's Universal Studios, Disney, all the stuff on International Drive. Literally like a world away from that. I think this park's something like 4,500 acres?
Yeah.
Something like that.
It's big.
It's huge. We're gonna go back to the tent and feed Luna. We've brought some hot dogs, some barbecue chips, lots of beer.
S'mores.
Oh, and s'mores. Yeah, we're gonna have s'mores. So we're gonna go back, light the barbecue, start the fire pit, and spray a
Ton of bug spray.
shit ton of bug spray, yeah. So let's go back. Here she is. Hey. She just ate her dinner. You right? Okay. Now it's dark outside, and this is what it's kind of like inside. It's super bright with these lights up here. There's also these little bedside tables with these lamps in them as well, which we can turn on later. But I tell you what, I'm really impressed. This bed is nice and comfortable. It comes with like fresh linens, a quilt, and some pillows. We did bring a few of our own pillows with us because I don't sleep very well, so I need a pillow that I hug.
Chris was getting the fire going, and he did a pretty good job of getting it going. He forgot something at the dock, so he went to get that and left me in charge of the fire, and it's not going well. I think it's dying.
That roaring fire. I just had to go down to the fishing pier that we were on for sunset because I left an ND filter down there. Which could have been a very expensive mistake, but luckily I found it. When I left, the fire was all good, and I came back. Well, the sausages are on the barbecue for the hot dogs, so that's good. We've got beers, so we're settled. But this s'mores fire...
It's a work in progress.
Oh,
that looks pretty good.
That's just brush that's burning. The logs are just not.
If anybody's watching this, can you leave comments down below about how to build a fire?
Yeah. I am not claiming to be the great outdoorsman. I am no Bear Grylls. I don't know how to survive drinking my own pee and all that stuff. But the fire was fine when I left.
That is not true.
It was
just like struggling.
Incoming argument. Bye. Sausages are cooking. Jen's going to complain that they're burned. They're not burned. They're barbecued. To her credit, is not giving up on this fire malarkey. She's gone out somewhere into the night to collect like twigs and brush to try and reignite it. Jen is over there.
Get out of here!
Can we just call it a day?
No!
I make fire! Those s'mores are gonna be banging. I admire your tenacity, Jen, but what do you think, Luna? Do you think Mum's doing a good job? Me either. There are a lot of bugs, mosquitoes, flies, and whatever else is out here. But it's Florida, and we're out in nature, so it's to be expected. Just bring bug spray, it's fine. In the tent, there's obviously there's this outer zip here, and then inside there's like a mosquito net that you can zip separately, so it's fine. But outside, you need bug spray. I've fundamentally given up on the fire pit. It is what it is, doesn't matter. Jen wants to make s'mores now. The sausages aren't even done. There's a McDonald's like 8 minutes up the street, so you wouldn't have to put up with it at the Grand Floridian. The hot dogs turned out pretty good. I don't know, they're not going to show, but there you go. There's it's hot dogs. Basically just a hot dog, some mustard, some pickles, some onions. So, update on the fire. I think you should probably give the update on the fire.
There is no fire.
There's no fire. A lot of warmth coming from charred logs. But there's no fire. So I don't think s'mores is happening, and I fundamentally won't eat Hershey's chocolate just by itself because it's disgusting. The only way I'll eat it is if it's melted into gooey marshmallow inside a graham cracker. But yeah, that's pretty much it for today. Tomorrow morning, we've got to get up early at 9 o'clock. We have a guided kayak paddle, which is quite exciting. Other than that, we really don't have much planned. As I said earlier, this was just like, we're not far away at all, so we just wanted to come here, try it out, see if it was for us. So far, what do you think? Pretty good. I just wanted to give you a quick fire update because we fixed it. Oh yes, so one thing I haven't mentioned since we've been here is the potty facilities. Obviously there's nothing inside the tent. There's a bathhouse which is like 20 seconds away, which has sinks, toilets, shower, facilities and all that stuff. Let's go into the bathhouse. I think there is something a little sinister about like a glowing building in the middle of a pitch black kind of wooded park. So I was thinking, you know what's creepier than going into a glowing bathhouse in the middle of a pitch black wooded area at midnight? Walking into a bathhouse in a wooded area at 12:30 at night, finding an Englishman filming himself brushing his teeth. Good morning. Excuse this. I couldn't find my hat in the dark tent this morning, so yeah, this is happening. Anyway, yeah, good morning. Woke up about 4 o'clock, which is not unlike me. That's actually quite a lot of sleep for me. The bed was really comfortable in the tent, and the temperature was really comfortable too with the heater cooling combo. I came down here about 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock, just to watch the sun come up, and it was spectacular. People are sort of starting to wake up and move around now, but for the last couple of hours it was just me here. And a couple of fishermen, and just listening to the birds and the insects and the fish and watching the sun come up is absolutely breathtaking. And I'm still amazed that this is kind of just down the street from us, and just didn't know it's here. It's absolutely beautiful. One of the perks of glamping and where we are is that from the front of the park, in about 8 minutes you'll get to a Publix, a McDonald's, a CVS pharmacy. I think there's a pizza place up there, and also there's a Starbucks. I wouldn't say that we're like really camping, but I'm down for this glamping thing. If you can just go get your Starbucks. This is an iced chocolate almond milk cold brew, and this is one of the best things I've had from Starbucks in a while. Typical me, venti. I think it's got like 4 or 5 shots in it, but it's delicious. One of the best things I've had from Starbucks in a while. At 9 o'clock, Jen and I are going on a guided kayak tour. I think in this river, so that should be cool. I'll probably try and take the GoPro onto the kayak. I'm not going to take my cameras obviously out there, but try and take the GoPro, see if we can get some footage. So yeah, morning. Found my hat. So yeah, I'm pretty sure I've already said this state park is basically in a place called Clermont in Florida, and as an example of how accessible that is to me, I actually go to the gym in Clermont over there, and I'm pretty sure that my friends and coaches and stuff at the gym don't watch this channel, so they won't know that most videos I make, I'm eating less than healthy food all the time. So when I'm not making videos, I don't eat like that all the time, and I go to the gym a lot because, I mean, I'm not skinny, but I have to try. So as well as my coffee, I have a egg white and turkey bacon bagel thing. It's low calorie, got protein in it. It makes me feel better about it. It's pretty gross, wouldn't get it. Anyway, I see Luna. Luna! Hello, baby. Hello. There you go. Sit. Good girl. There you go. Good girl. Okay, so we're now going to... Jen's here.
Hi.
We're going to where we have to meet to do the kayaking. Everything from this point on for a little while is going to be filmed on the GoPro, which sucks because it's a GoPro. Let's go for a kayak.
Now, it takes work to flip over one of these kayaks. It is not in...
You've never met Chris.
No, it really does. They are very buoyant. But let's say for some reason something happens and you end up outside of your kayak and in the water. The first thing you're going to do is don't panic! teeming with industry. So they were harvesting cypress trees, which are these trees that you guys see here. They're these really tall, skinny gray ones that don't have a ton of green on them, but what they do have on them is a lot of Spanish moss. They used to use Spanish moss as a stuffing. They use it to stuff mattresses and also to stuff car seats. Did you guys hear that?
Mm-hmm.
That sort of noise? That's a gator.
I wondered what that was.
Yeah.
I've been hearing it all morning.
That noise is a gator, and actually we are starting to get into their rutting season, so their frisky time of year. It's really important if you ever do come across a gator nest in some way or another. First of all, you don't want to mess with that because, again, mama gator. But secondly, you don't want to mess with that because disturbing the layers or disturbing the nest itself can cause trouble for the gators in terms of the propagation of the species.
So there are gators in the lake, obviously. I mean, it's Florida, it's their home. We've seen a couple from a distance, and I'm hoping that a few more will come and I'll be able to like zoom in and film them. But what I wasn't expecting is that when you hear them kind of calling, they sound like little baby pigs. They almost snort, which is, I didn't realize, and it's not a sound I expected, but it's actually quite funny. But they seem to be very like docile, almost lazy, ambivalent creatures. It just looks kind of like a log is floating along in the distance, just a very slow, sedate, straight line. The tour guide was telling us that they're actually very, very lazy when it comes to eating, and they don't like putting too much effort in, which again surprised me. Whoops. So I just stopped for a Gatorade break. It's really, really hot out here now. It's in the high 80s, and the lake is obviously not covered that well, so you're in the direct sun. It's not too bad. It's kind of offset by the fact that the kayaks have the little holes in the bottom, so you do get wet while you do this, and it kind of keeps you cool. It's nice. This is like obviously really sedate. You can just like float around. If you don't do the tour, you don't have to do the tour to do this. And you can just kind of float around and take it easy, but if you want to have like a good paddle around the lake, it's kind of a decent workout. What is this? I've never had this one before. Gatorade Zero Berry. It's pretty good. And no calories. Healthy. Right there is another gator. Just kind of chilling out. They're so docile. They don't come towards us. They just kind of float or swim in a straight line. But again, I'm hoping it picks it up. But about here in the frame is a gator. Absolute bliss out here. I've kind of just left the group a little bit because I could happily stay out here all day. Just listen. Okay, so people that know Jen, hi Jen.
Hi.
People that know Jen well know that she's a very competent driver. She enjoys driving, and she's very considerate on long journeys. She doesn't mind doing substantial bulks of the driving. Where Jen's not so good at driving is when there's other cars on the road. Spatial awareness, like parallel parking, reverse parking. When we got into the lake on the kayak, the first like 10 minutes is just sort of getting reaccustomed to paddling and stuff. And over there, you can see this huge wooden pier, which is the pier I was on for sunrise this morning. Jen, what happened?
I'm not good at turning.
She crashed straight into the pier. So I really did thoroughly enjoy that. It was awesome. The tour was great. It wasn't one of those sort of intense, heavy tours. It was very light-hearted, but very, very informative. We had a small group. It was really, really peaceful, really calming, surrounded by nature. It's really hot. It was just so, so nice to just get out there. And now I know that this is really close by. I can come here whenever I want. And Jen and I have already actually talked about just buying kayaks for ourselves, because where we live, we actually back on to sort of a quite big lake, so we might buy kayaks. I want to get like an actual boat. That's a work in progress, so check back in a few years. Jen's just gone to the bathhouse to get changed. I need to do the same because I am soaked. You do get really wet doing it. Florida, outside, there are bugs, but just spray up with who's that? Just spray up with bug spray and you'll be good. It was awesome. Really, really cool. Okay, so I really need a drink of water, maybe a soda or something like that. We have to go back to the tent real quick to pack up the stuff into the car because we're checking out this morning, and then from there I'm not sure what we're gonna do actually. I just need some water and then fizzy pop. So a little bit of time has actually passed now. We went and packed up the tent and all of that stuff. And Jen got a call from a hairdresser saying that a last minute slot had popped up if she wanted it, and Jen decided she wanted to go get a haircut. I figured I'm here, it's a beautiful day, I might as well just stay for a couple more hours and check it out. So I actually rented a bike, and you rent the bikes from the same place that you would rent the kayaks, the canoes, the tours and things like that. So I'm just gonna literally like bike around, maybe go on a little small nature trail or something. There's a Lake Louisa itself, I think it's about 2 miles from where I'm sitting, is the biggest lake in the park, and I think the biggest lake in Clermont. And it's actually the only place you're allowed to swim in the state park. I mean, technically if you fall off of a paddleboard or out of a boat, you're swimming, but they actually have built like a beach over there where you're allowed to go in and swim. So that'd be kind of cool to go and see. Okay, so in a quick effort to try and give some context as to where the park is actually located and how it's laid out, I'm going to attempt to use Skittles to show you. This is Highway 27, and this is the entrance to the state park. If you come out the state park and go this way down 27, in 25 minutes you will literally drive into Disney. And if you go this way, you'll go to Clermont. Clermont, Disney. The glamping tents are located here, and it's about a 3-mile drive around this winding road to the camp tents. That's where we did the kayaking. Here is the beach I mentioned over at Lake Louisa. I'm sat about here under a tree. Equestrian center, and then all of this stuff are like different nature trails, walking trails, fitness trails, and all that good stuff. So yeah, Disney, Clermont, park entrance, glamping, all this stuff. Skittles. So I'm sure that made perfect sense to everyone. But yeah, let's keep going. Just cycling through the kind of RV section of the campsite, which seems to be for all things from RVs to like caravans and Winnebagos, and you can come and tap into electricity and water. It seems very spacious. So yeah, if you're on an RV road trip around Florida, this place can accommodate you. Have no idea how much it is, but I'll put all the information below. It's so warm, it's like 91 now. This is hard work. I really need another drink. I've taken the bike back. It's just altogether too hot for outdoor activity now. It's like 92, I just checked when I took it back. I'm gonna head out soon, I think. But on the way, I'm gonna actually drive over to the beach area I talked about earlier and just check that out before I head out. Would I recommend glamping and this state park to people in general? If you fundamentally aren't an outdoorsy person, the concept of going into a tent or sleeping outside where there could be bugs and things like that, if that really isn't your thing, then definitely don't camp or glamp. They do have cabins on site here, so you can rent a cabin, or if you drive an RV, there's the RV area. If you are an outdoorsy person, glamping's great. It's just like a slightly leveled up version of camping, and it's awesome. The one thing I would say though to anyone is whether you're coming here from near or far, for the $5 that it costs you to get in this park for the day, I 100% would recommend coming here to anyone. If you're coming from the UK to go to Disney for a couple of weeks and you're taking a down day off of doing all the busy things, drive up here, it's 25 minutes away, $5 to get in, and you're literally in another world. You're transported away from the crowds and the chaos. There's nature, the weather is stunning, there's water, you can go kayaking, you can rent a bike. The bike rentals are like $10. To rent a kayak is like $20 for 2 hours. The guided tour, I think, was $45 a person. You can bring your own bikes, you can bring a picnic, you can bring beers. It's phenomenal. Like, if you're gonna have a down day from Disney and you're coming from abroad, don't just spend every day by the pool. 100% spend a few hours here if you're coming to this area. It's epic. Just come here. One last thing, thank you so much to everyone that sent me a birthday message last week, whether it was on Instagram, DM, whatever it might have been. I really appreciated it, so thank you very much. I had a really nice birthday, so thank you. I took the bike back and I'm so sweaty, so I actually jumped in the car and drove over from the camping area over to Lake Louisa, go across this nice boardwalk here, and takes you down to the swimming area. So let's go check that out. It's actually kind of cool. There's this little sort of cove, and they've probably shipped in the sand, I would say, but there's like a little man-made sandy beach with an access into the lake. There's like a kids play area over here. Over here in those trees there's like grills, public grills, so you can come and grab one of those and do a barbecue. And there's like more picnic tables over here. It's not too busy. I can imagine this might get very crowded, and it's a sun trap. It's so hot here. The water looks really dirty. It's this kind of horrible brownish red looking color, but the lady that gave us the tour, I keep saying the lady, I'm gonna find out her name and put it on screen because she was awesome, but the lady that gave us the tour was telling us that the vegetation and the plant life out in the lake actually filters everything and it turns this kind of tea color, but the water is actually extremely clean. It just looks kind of brown, but it's absolutely amazing feeling right now because it's so hot. So there's actually a nature trail right by here that looks really nice because it's shaded. It's in the trees and it's very shaded and it doesn't look too difficult. So I'll just go for a stroll around there, and then I'll probably head home and catch up with Jen. Been walking on this nature trail now for like 20-25 minutes, and it's super flat, super easy, and I haven't seen a single person while I've been walking, but it's just so beautiful out here, like surrounded by really tall pine trees. You got the sun, it's swelteringly hot at the moment, but this park, I can't recommend a visit here highly enough. If you don't want to camp, if you don't want to stay overnight, that's fine. $5 to get in here and you've literally got all of this all day. The water, walking, swimming, kayaking, biking. Like, this place is awesome and somewhere I'm gonna come back a lot when I have free time. Like, it's just stunning. Okay, I'm at 1% battery and it's flashing 0 minutes on this memory card and everything's in the car. So I think this is me going back to the car and going home.